Hi everybody, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin Up, and I am from Ohio, and I'm here to bring you a video tonight on a card technique that I learned that I really love. I actually made it for a swap I was in, and I had to wait till the swap got distributed before I wanted to bring it on here to show you. Excuse me. Anyway, I'm going to make sure real quick that I've got you in focus on my computer, or that I'm going to have my hands in focus on my computer when it comes to that, so that we'll be able to see it and that. But a few things I want to tell you. Today, Stampin' Up! Started. They have some new celebration items, and if you spend $50, you can get a free item. And they brought out, and the things that they brought out were things that's already in our annual catalog, and actually in the annual or the mini catalog, that you will be able to get for free with a $50 order, or sometimes for a $100 order. I'm going to be showing you that paper. Also, we've got a thing coming out called Perfect Partners, and that's in September 1st to the 30th. And they have like 8 stamp sets that are in our catalog that doesn't have dies to them. So what they did is they put some dies, made some dies to go with them. So they've bundled them so you can save the 10%, or if you've already ordered that particular stamp set and you want the dies with it, you can order the dies by themselves. That starts September 1st. So that's going to be coming up. The celebration's going to end August 30th, so you'll want to get everything that you can for that. And just remember, on all of that, everything is first come, first serve. So you just have to, it's while quantities last, so you have to really decide if you're going to want something. If you want something really bad, you have to get your order in, is the way I should say it. If you do not have a demonstrator, I'd love to be that demonstrator for you, and you can always go to my online store. If you would like to join Stampin' Up! And you don't have anyone to join under, I would love to be able to have you on my team and go from there and be able to help you, whether you want to be a hobbyist or have a business or just whatever. Just have something that you and your friends can order together from. A lot of different ways to handle that business if you want to get into it, but it makes for a nice discount. So you can just let me know about that if you want to do that. I'm not going to waste a lot of time. I'm going to turn my camera down so I can show you the items that's going to be on the celebration this month, and show you my cards and get ready to start to do that and all of that stuff, okay? So I'm getting ready to turn you up, so if you get dizzy, just close your eyes. And like I said, someday I'll get all the software that you can do this without all of this other crazy stuff. So let me move all this up a minute, and I'll show you this. Let me get that a little bit more in focus. There we go. Okay. First of all, here's all my information, which is my online store, my email, my Facebook group, of course YouTube, and my August host code. So if you'd like to screenshot that or write that down real quick, that would be good too. I had some kind of stuff coming over on my comment section. I thought, what is that? Because I'm actually doing a Facebook Live in my private group. I thought nobody knows what that is. So anyway, keeps popping up. So anyway, here are the things and what they are: the Timber 3D embossing folder, the gingham embossing folder, seashells embossing folder, the brush metallic 12x12 cardstock, the craft kit boxes, and the silver foil 12x12 paper are all free with a $50 order. Now you can get the Flowers of Home dies, the Dots and Spots die, and the Aspen dies, or the Daffodil dies free with a $100 order. So if there are anything like that, like you'd like the stamp set and then go ahead and order the dies, you can, or if you haven't ordered the stamp set, you can go ahead and order the stamp set and the dies together as a bundle. And that will be coming out or not on these. I'm sorry, I'm mixed up. That is on, those are free for the taking a celebration. The Perfect Pairs is what's coming out. We have apple blossom dies, the fresh cut stems, the little pigs, Christmas trees, the waterfall, and the Yeti are going to have dies. That's 6 sets that will be coming out September 1st. So we'll be talking about those more. We also have my PDF that you can snatch at my Facebook group, Stamp Crazy VIP, and you'll get all the directions and everything to make this card. The card we're going to make today is this right here, but you can actually make 3 cards at one time. And these are the other cards. Now this one is the one I had done for my swap that I was in, which had me wanting to do the rest of these. So, well, all you have to do is take 2 pieces of DSP, 1 piece of cardstock, unless you want it just like this, but 2 pieces of DSP, a piece of cardstock, and a piece of copy paper together. Well, the copy paper you won't cut, but the other 3 pieces you're going to cut, and it'll make 3 cards, and you're only going to do the cuts one time, because you can put your paper together and do that, and I'll be doing that on my paper trimmer. So I will show you that. So let's get started. What we're using tonight is the Hello Harvest set. I was in a little fall mood, so this is the set. And I'm using the leaves here, and I'm using this banner that's already got the words on it. And I'm using the dies that go with it. I'll be using the banner. I'll be using one of the little tendrils here, and the tendrils, and then the leaf. Had to think which other. The leaf after we stamp it. So, in order to get going, I'm going to use a piece of grid paper, and I'm going to find my, okay, here is the template for that card. I already made a template, and what you do on the card, and I'll show you with this one, is on the sides you come down. Well, I'll show you on this one. You come down 1 inch and mark it. You come up 1 inch and mark it on the left-hand sides. On the right-hand side, you come down 1 3/4 of an inch and mark it. Come up 1 3/4 of an inch and mark it. And then you're going to cut at diagonals. Okay? So, I will get all that together and show you how we're going to do that. I'm going to take my papers, my 2 DSPs, and you're going to want to put whatever side you want showing on your cards. You're going to want to put those face up, okay? Then you're going to take and put your cardstock with it. I stack them all together. I'm going to bring them over here to my grid paper, because my grid paper, if I can get it to all go together right, my grid paper is in 1 inch little things right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line that up. I'm going to get a pencil, and on this side, from the dark line to the dark line is 1 inch. Then these are 1/4 inch a piece. So on this side, I'm just going to mark 1 inch as I scoot my paper. So I'm just going to mark right at 1 inch there. I'm going to cup up at 1 inch and mark here. Then I'm going to come down 1 3/4 of an inch, so that's 1, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, make a mark. That's 1 inch, and then go 1, 2, 3, and that's a mark. And I tell you what, this 6x6 grid paper, which was actually made to use with the Stamparatus, is great for doing stuff like this because it has it marked in your inches and stuff. And it goes up to 7 inches. It's a 7 inch by 7 inch piece right here. But it's to be used in the Stamparatus. But it's great for markings. Or you can take a ruler and do the same thing with. I just chose to do it that way. Now, I usually use a guillotine trimmer because I usually cut lots of cardstock at one time. But I brought out my Stampin' Up! Trimmer, and I'm going to line up the 1-inch mark and the 1 3/4-inch mark right into the groove, the cutting groove. I'm going to bring my blade in, and I'm going to cut. And I just ran it a couple times and made sure that I got my pieces. So there's those 3. Now I'm going to do the same down here. I'm going to line up my 1 3/4 mark with my 1-inch mark. And I'm going to mark that, okay? So here's how we get our 3 cards. I have 3 of these and 3 of those. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put out these 3, and actually I am going to probably trade this one because it's got an ink spot on it, and I don't think that it'll come out. I noticed that, and I meant to have it turned over, and I didn't. So let's see if it'll, it's going to come off. I don't know if it's an ink spot or what it was, but it was something that just got on there. So you can get that off. So now I have these 3 pieces of paper out. Now what I can do, and we're going to move that and that. We want them to be different, okay? So now what we're going to do is I'm going to put that one in there. I'm going to put that one in there and this one in here. And therefore now I have 3 cards that I can put together. I'm going to bring in on a 5-inch by 3 3/4-inch piece of copy paper, computer paper, whatever you want to call that. And I am going to go ahead and put my card together. So I think I'm going to use maybe this one here this time. Just make it a little bit different design. Where I was erasing is made a mess. So what I'm going to do, bring my white glue in. That's what I'm going to be using. So I'll turn my piece over, put some glue on it. Then I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to line this up. Now, if it doesn't fit, it's okay. I can trim it afterwards. That really doesn't matter. I'm going to bring this one in, and I'm going to... We're just gluing it on the copy paper. And the reason being is so if we have to trim it, if we got one piece longer than the other or whatever, when we were doing the other, when we were cutting it like 5 by 3 3/4. So it just makes it a little bit more friendly to work with, should I say. Okay, and there we have that. So what, whoa, get back up there. That one wanted to come off with me, didn't it? So there we go. We have that, and I have just a little edge down here at the bottom. So what I can do is I can put that in the paper trimmer, and I can just take off that edge. And there we go. Made it like a piece of shredded paper. I took off so little. Okay, so there is that part of our card made. And what we can do now, we're going to bring in a piece of 5 1/4 by 4-inch black cardstock, and we're going to mount this here. So let's do that. And I could have used cardstock to mount those 3 pieces on, but that just makes your card a little bit heavier. And since I'm covering it anyway, I'm just going to use the copy paper. And I'm going to put this down. I'm going to rub it a little bit on the edges. I am using a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of crushed curry cardstock, and I am going to fold that in half, burnish the fold, and I'm going to go ahead and glue my piece of cardstock to it. So I've got to make sure that I got my opening on the right side. Has anybody ever done that? Put your card on the wrong side? I've done it plenty of times. So, okay, so now we have that. Now we're going to have to do just a little bit of stamping. So I brought in some paper right here. And first of all, I'm going to stamp the banner. So let's do that. I'm just going to make sure that's all inked up really good. Bring this over here and stamp. So that's our banner. Let's close that black up. We don't need it. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our 5.25 by 4-inch piece. This is for our inside, like we have here, and we have some leaves stamped in there. That's what we're going to do. We're going to use crushed curry, and we are going to use Cajun Craze. I'm also going to use my finger daubers, and I'm going to use the crushed curry and the Cajun Craze. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my leaf stamp. I'm going to take my crushed curry, and I'm just going to go all the way over my leaf because it's my lighter color. Then I'm going to bring in a little bit of Cajun Craze, and I'm just going to add just a little bit on there, and I am going to stamp. I'm actually thinking, no, I'll put one right here. I know that won't be in the way of where I'm. And then I'm going to take, ink that up again with the crushed curry, and then do the Cajun Craze just over a little bit. And I'll put that leaf right here. So that way we can fit them into my machine. And what I'm going to do now is I am going to take my crushed curry again. Just repeat this process. And then I'm just going to add some leaves into the corner of my card right here. I'm actually going to go this way a little bit. Had to remember which dauber's on which finger. Got that a little bit dark up there, so, and then I'm just going to add that. And there we have two leaves for the inside of the card. Let's close up our ink pads, move them out of the way, and we'll put our daubers back up. And I store my daubers in these containers, and I have them marked on the top what goes where. I have another full case, and these are the ones that didn't fit in the other case. So there we go. Let's go ahead and bring this back in real quick and go ahead and put our inside in so it's out of the way. Get as much out of the way as we can so it's not laying around, especially when it's on my table. That's kind of scary. So this is 5.25 by 4. Makes a nice fall card. Okay, now we're going to die cut. I'm going to bring in my little mini Stampin' Emboss machine. And I'm going to bring in, and someone told me, instead of using the white plate that goes with it, to use this gray plate. I think it's this one. Wait a minute, let me see. No, it's the number 4, I do believe. No, the number 3. It's the number 3 plate instead of the number 1. We're going to use it. We're going to put, of course, one of these down at the bottom, and I'm going to turn it over just for the fact that I don't want my die flipping out on me, which they tend to do because I tend to have that issue going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this on here. I hope they get their magnetic plates straightened out and bring back, because magnetic plates and I get along very well. I don't necessarily get along without them. I know I could washi tape them down, take time to do that, but I don't like to do that. So I want that over just a hair. Okay, that looks good. Let me get this one back. That looks good. And I'm going to put this in here, and I'm going to hold on until I get it started. And I'm sorry if my table's shaking, but it's the way it goes when you're cutting out dies. So we have to cut out the other leaf. So let's put these right here. Bring in this, and this just makes it so much easier than that white plate, because sometimes I had trouble getting the white plate to go through. I'm going to cut this off. I don't want all this extra paper there, so I'm just going to cut that like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a piece of this Mossy Meadow color in, and I'm just going to cut a piece of that, and I'll get that straightened up here in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and take and put this little die there. I'll straighten this up on my leaf. You know, I don't know what we did stamping without dies before. Dies just give everything that extra, I don't know, just the extra mile that makes it looks like you did so much more to your card. So there we go. Let's move that out of the way. Put my stamps back, or my dies back. And these dies cut out so easy. I really enjoy them. I don't like the ones I have to sit and pick so much stuff out of them that it's crazy. So there's all we need out of that one. So let's get all the little pieces out of the way. Move these. Almost done, almost. So let's bring the card in we're working on, which is this one. And I am going to bring this down to about here. And I am going to use dimensionals on it. And I'm just going to take and cut some off of here to use on it. Usually use my littler scissors, so I don't know what I'm thinking over here. I'm going to put it towards the top. See if that'll fit there. Yeah. And then I'm going to put, here's 2 that I didn't use yet, so we'll put these at each end. That'll work. So we've got some dimensionals on there. And we're going to just pull that off. And you couldn't see me, I was out of camera a little bit. I didn't have it up far enough. It's because I got intrigued in what I was doing instead of watching. So what I did, there's my dimensionals across the top, and then 2 at each side of the banner so that I can bring it in. And I'm just going to lay it down about right here. And then I'm going to take my leaves, and I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on the back of it. I'm going to take and just stick it up and under there. That's why I didn't put dimensionals towards the bottom. I wanted my leaves to be able to be tucked in under there a little bit. I'm going to put the other leaf over here. And then I'm just going to take one of the little tendrils, and I'm going to add just a little bit of glue. Not much. I'm just going to dab it on there. Just right there at the top. And I'm going to scoot that in under there also and press down. And then we'll have that with our card. So there's our card. That is our card. So easy to make. And like I said, you can make 3 once you make your cuts. You got enough to make 3 cards. They'll look differently, like these 2 look differently. And let's see. This one I used all DSP on it. And I thought that looked good. And actually, I have another one over here, which is almost like this one. I just used it a different way, different colors. So, you know, you can do whatever you want. And this one's all DSP, so really looks good. Let's put us a couple little embellishments on here, because I like to embellish a little bit. I think it all looks really good. So whoops. I'll put that one right there. There we go. So that's our card. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you get to make some cards. I hope you can use this design in your card making, because it's actually a lot of fun just to have the variety out of the same paper. So I hope you get to take advantage of all of that. And on my video, if you have not subscribed to my channel, I just hit that little bell on there and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my videos. And also give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you did not enjoy it and you think I can do better, you can give me the thumbs down and put in the comments what you think that I could do better, because I'm always open for good or bad criticism. That's the way it helps me grow. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.